Good morning, Bitcoin. Today is Wednesday, August 9th, 2017. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin was 32.64, down 4.85%, with a high of 34.62 and a low of 32.53. The price of Bcash was down a little bit, with a high of 372 and a low of 329. Bcash is only 26%. It's only 26% more profitable to mine original Bitcoin instead of Bcash. This number has about halved from yesterday when we saw it at 54%, according to the difficulty adjustments. Our top story today is Quartz says there's a case for a $5,000 Bitcoin. It's going to involve a lot of gold bugs moving over from Bitcoin, but the price will rise. BTC-E only controls 55% of customer funds, but plans to refund them and offer a debt token similar to what Bitfinex did for the rest of the funds. We'll have to see how that goes. And finally, Fidelity brings Bitcoin tracking to its traditional investor portfolios. You won't be able to hold Bitcoin, but you can track them. This is similar to when, whatever it is, that other program added them years ago, the one that's owned by TurboTax. Thanks so much for joining us. If everyone could give us a thumbs up and a share. We've got 337 live viewers, and we're joined by Jimmy Song with a check of the current scaling. Segregated witness locked in. Everything's smooth from here on out, right?
If it were only so. We did close the period about 2 or 3 hours ago, so we only have to wait this current difficulty period, and then we have SegWit on the network. So that's very exciting. It's currently scheduled for around August 21st. We don't know how much new mining equipment will come online, or if miners will be switching over from Bitcoin Cash because it's more profitable. I do want to just give a short update on Bitcoin Cash. They did have one difficulty adjustment yesterday. I talked about that during our live show. So they are currently at around like 13% the difficulty of Bitcoin. And because Bitcoin has dropped a little bit in price and Bitcoin Cash has gained a little bit in price, that's why you see that Bitcoin is only 26% more profitable to mine currently. Other than that, I think we're pretty much set for SegWit, and it doesn't look like Bitcoin Cash will be dropping any difficulty soon because miners seem to be on it, and there are blocks pretty much every 15 minutes or so. I'll have to do new calculations to see when their difficulty will adjust again, but that will almost certainly put it very close to parity with Bitcoin when they do their normal 2016 block difficulty adjustment. Just to give you an idea, they're about 930 blocks behind, away from that difficulty adjustment that Bitcoin just had. So that tells you that it's quite a ways behind in terms of the number of blocks and security in that sense.
All right, and Jimmy, just a question from the audience. What about the Core's proposal to reject SegWit 2x blocks? What do you think about that?
Right, so I talked about that just a little bit yesterday, but basically there's a proposal for any node running Core to reject both Bitcoin ABC nodes and SegWit 2x nodes. And that's actually good because if they do fork, then you'll have two separate networks and you'll have peers that can give you stuff that you're going to see as valid. Whereas if they're sort of mixed, then you're going to have to ban them later anyway. So I don't know if it's like sort of like any sort of gauntlet or anything saying we will not accept 2 megabyte blocks or something like that. But it's more a safety issue, and I'm glad that Matt Corallo put that pull request in and that it got merged. I forget exactly when the 0.15 client comes out, but I'm sure it'll be before the 2x hard fork schedule for, I guess it would be November 18th or 17th, something like that, based on the August 21st, activation date.
We're also joined by Tone Vase for a quick check of the markets. How's it going, Tone?
Pretty good. Didn't wake up this morning as happy as the previous few mornings, but it's okay. So here we are. Here's the weekly chart. This week is still the book on this week has not been written. We did get pretty high on this recent bounce, and we're still okay. It's still a green candle. It's still a positive week overall. We got a little high. We're pulling back a little bit. So nothing really to worry about from the weekly chart. The weekly chart went bullish as of 28.25, and we're still at 32.50 on Bitstamp, so not really much to worry about. The daily chart looks a little bit different, and as of a few minutes ago, this has just become a red 1 on my numerical indicator, which is not good, but the day has just begun. We're about halfway through the day, and there's still a lot of time left in the day. Now, ignoring this indicator for a minute, which is probably how I should start off, we had this pop. So the target that I tweeted about basically early on this day on 8/5. Sorry if I haven't had time to tweet much lately about the price, guys. Just been really busy. So the target of 3,500 has been perfectly met. I mean, I was using 3,500 as the target on Bitfinex, and the high was 3,483. So I would consider that a perfect hit. This was the same target from the bullish pennant. And once we hit this target, yesterday did end up being a reversal candle known as a doji. Now, some people that aren't used to technical analysis will say, well, Tone, there was a similar doji right here 2 days earlier, and the main difference between them is a doji is only an indication of trouble if the candle afterwards makes a lower low. And as you can see, the candle after this doji never made a lower low. It stayed high. So it never gave you an indication to potentially sell. This looks like a classic doji reversal pattern. And if this does turn into something significant, we can go all the way back down to the level of the breakout around 28,900. And even if we do get to as low as 28,900, that will probably be the perfect buying opportunity for a much bigger leg up to the upside, perhaps hitting the randomly guessed $5,000 number talked about earlier in this show. Okay, so let's see where the day ends and we take it from there. This pullback is perfectly okay within the confines of the breakout, and as long as we close above 32.55 on the daily chart, this will remain. There it is. You just saw it turn from a red 1 to a green 7. Okay, so we're right on the edge. I was hoping this will get to a 9 in order to start a little bit of a pullback, but to get that 9, 2 days from now, we would need to close above 3,396. We'll see. That's a bit of a challenge. So we'll take it day by day, and let's see how the rest of this day just goes. Back to you, Thomas.
All right, Tone, we've also got a question from the audience. We saw the price of Ethereum rise from 220 to 340. Do you see continued upside for Ethereum?
To be honest, I have not looked at the Ethereum chart in a while. Let me see which one I can pull up. I guess the daily Ethereum chart in terms of Bitcoin would be ideal. Ethereum is always confusing. Do we look at it in terms of Bitcoin or do we look at it in terms of dollars? I guess I'll take a look at the Ethereum chart. It's been a long time. I can tell you exactly when the last time I looked at Ethereum was. It was probably when I drew this arrow. Okay, probably the last time I looked at Ethereum, and this arrow pretty much worked out. Ethereum almost went back to its support, where you see this blue Fibonacci line at around 0.064 Bitcoin, and a stronger support line at around 0.060 Bitcoin. It started to come back up in terms of Bitcoin, but notice this blue line, the 50-day moving average. It has been acting very good ever since. This is known as a golden cross in technical analysis terms. And then look right here on 426, it acted as support. It acted as support again for a week in May. It acted as support one last time at the end of June. and then we broke below this 50-day moving average. We went back above, and now it acted as resistance on 718. And once again, it's replaying the same candle it almost did on 2018. So now this 50-day moving average is turning down. Ethereum versus Bitcoin might be topping out right here and setting up for another drop in terms of Bitcoin. So at the least back to this 200-day moving average slash support. After that, if we have the opposite of this cross where the 50 goes below the 200-day, we could have more downside for Ethereum in terms of Bitcoin. What does that mean for Ethereum in terms of dollars? It's really hard to say. It depends on Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin pullback completely reverses back to the upside and does approach that $4,000 or $5,000 mark into the end of September, like I expect, then Ethereum could do okay in terms of dollars, but not too well in terms of Bitcoin. So that's pretty much my Ethereum update for our live viewers. So I don't normally talk about Ethereum, so enjoy.
All right. Thanks, Tone, for that update. And thanks for everyone for watching. We had about 750 live viewers today. If everyone could give us a thumbs up and a share. If it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe down below. We had a great time hanging out with everyone yesterday, talking about the segregated witness lock-in. We had a little bit of a debate between Richard Hart and Gabriel Devine. You can check that out on yesterday's show. And we'll be back here tomorrow for Today in Bitcoin. And thanks again for all your Patreon support. If you'd like to send us a Bitcoin donation, you can send it right here. And thanks so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.